Shout out to 105. Appreciate them.
Where the language and the policy calls for a suspension, why all this testing is still taking place with the substance changes heading into this year. What can you tell us about how this whole thing played out?
Well, the policy, it's a mistake to totally look or refer to the language in a policy when you have the ability as in the, if you will, the governance of the commissioner that can overrule anything and give his interpretation and make his final judgment. Now, the commissioner hadn't gotten involved in this one yet, but there are a lot of different nuances there, a lot of different ways to look at the policy. You've had the thing aired out pretty good. You had a mediator judge type basically make a decision on it, and then we'll go from there and see if there's any relief that he can get higher in the chain, so to speak, possibly even with the commissioner.
Now, Jerry spoke a mouthful on that one. You know, a lot of times when you have Roger Goodell and his minions circumventing the NFL with policies and procedures, and a lot of times when you are the overseer of everything, supposedly Roger Goodell is supposed to be this guy who sit high and look low, basically, and he sent his minions out, and they're supposed to have a person that's not, you know, invested in on the troubles and the worries of the Cowboys or what have you. They're supposed to be neutral. That's the best way to say it, politically speaking. However, if I park my car, if let's say I'm the police unit, right, and you coming out of the driveway, and if I park my car right behind your car every single day, or if I'm right in the purview of you coming out of your driveway, the law of average will set in, meaning that if I'm looking for something, I will eventually find it. You coming out of your driveway, maybe you forgot to put your seatbelt on. Maybe you was rushing and you didn't put your seatbelt on. Bloop, bloop, woo. I could pull you over for that, driving without the seatbelt on. Or you get a phone call. You hold it up to your face. Boop, boop. Because the law of average is there. I'm watching every move you make, every step you take, you know. So that is the problem with Roger Goodell and their philosophy, because I believe that this petty stuff, there's 31 other teams out there that we would at least by now hear of these type of situations and scenarios across the board happening. But somehow that only the Dallas Cowboys get this type of news. And I get it. You sell so many clicks to go to the website this month, right, or this week. You get so many situations whereas the Dallas Cowboys are in accident waiting to happen. You got a healthy man, Lyle Collins, who have not done anything nefarious out there in the neighborhood or community. And he took over 180 tests, and the 7 that he didn't take, excuse me, you gonna charge this man 5 games for those 7 out of 180? That doesn't smell right. On top of that, now you come down with the news after week 1. So you got what you wanted. You wanted the ratings. You wanted the team to be at its peak, because what the Cowboys, I guess, and what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rating would have done without Elijah Collins, without all of the fair competitive advantages. Maybe, just maybe, a lot of people won't tune into the game. But it's so convenient that you see that the impact of the right tackle being out there in full form, that you know for sure that, man, if not so, the Cowboys probably would have easily won the game if Zach Martin was there. I digress.
And that's about all I can tell you. It's a very, very convoluted situation, but our policy as it stands right now has a lot of emphasis on the, if you will, the process of meeting with consultants, of consulting relative to whatever your issue is. And if that's infringed on, in other words, if that's not adhered to in a pretty formal way, then you can get in some pretty heavy areas there regarding your eligibility to play. Now, that's a mouthful, but that's about all I can say.
Jerry, how long does the appeal process generally take for this? And I know in some sports you could play while the appeal process is going on, but is that
There's
the case
not
here?
a process here. He's suspended as we speak.
Woo! He said, look, Jerry said it's not even a process. Oh, my gosh, man. He said it's not even a process. Meaning that on his opening statement, that this information, this beat of information, didn't even get all the way to Roger Goodell yet, collectively speaking. We know he still got his hands and his feet all into this water. But the process, how can I put this? How you gonna put the man in jail for 5 games without due process? That's the craziest thing of it all. It's like, hey, we said that you didn't do this, 5-game suspension immediately. Oh, I want to appeal. I want to show you guys where I'm right. 5 games, dog. No. 5 games. I don't care if you had 1,000 tests and you missed 7, 5 games, regardless. There's no due process within this particular procedure.
He won't play Sunday. And so the process doesn't have a length to it at all. And so as of right now, he's living with the adjudication of 5 games.
How frustrating is all this, Jerry? It was a nice start. I know you didn't get the win, but we were all feeling pretty good. You had the defending champs right there. Offense and Dak looked amazing. We know what happened with the offensive line last year. How frustrating is this for you?
It's not frustrating. We're going to be dealing when you have 80 players.
Hold on. Justin, how you go? Look, please tell me if you are a Cowboy fan, Justin. Justin says that Colin is a bomb for that BS. So you mean to tell me that wherever you work at, they test you over 180 times. You reported 10 times out of a month to go to your particular job. You get tested 180 times. You miss 7 with mitigated circumstances, meaning that you got valid excuses from why you're not able to test. And now you become the bum? Come on, man. You falling right into the hands of what the NFL is trying to paint about La'el Collins. So you mean to tell me, collectively speaking, that out of the 31 other teams, that everybody else is walking the exact same line. Everybody's getting tested 180 times. Come on, Justin. Come on, what are you thinking, fam? I digress.
And you do approximately, counting your practice squad, when you have the issues of injury that you deal with, when you have the COVID thing, basically putting the active players out on the field every week is a evolving thing. It has been for years. It's part of the game. Everybody's dealing with it, all 32 teams.
Jerry Jones, go ahead, sorry.
You take where you are, you continually evaluate. We had 2 players in yesterday. We were evaluating corner and receiver. And so really it's our game. It's the NFL.
How was Dak feeling physically after that amazing performance, but also that workload?
Outstanding. He came through it great. first question I ask, not only after the game, but days after the game. How's he doing? And he's just doing great.
All right, be honest now, because I know you were very optimistic about how he would play. Did that even exceed your expectations of how healthy he actually was?
Well, I'm going to say this. I sure am glad we've got him, and I'm glad we had him out there the other night. I thought he and Kellen Moore really, when you realize they call plays and then they go up and Dak has the ability to get into another play if he wants to, I just thought relative to the substantiveness of their defense, I thought we played outstanding offensively all the way around. You did too. I mean, we all did.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. What is the plan for right tackle Sunday against the Chargers?
Plan is to go with Steele, and he'll do a good job. He's a young guy that we're proud of, and he really had a great rookie year last year, relatively speaking, and he'll do a good job out there. We'll give him lots of help.
Jerry, you was going good until you got to that point. All right, so we talked to Duke Manyweather. He's one of the offensive line masters. Just check out his Instagram page, and we went over this in grave details about young offensive tackles. And what he pretty much said, Terrence Steele, he pointed out the positives, but he got a lot to work on. Now, jumping from one year to the next, those snaps are very valuable. Don't get it twisted, but it's not time. It's before his time. It would take another 3 years. It was like he said about 4 years, year 4, year 5, Terrence Steele would probably be just in good shape enough to play at that right tackle. Now, what we did is we fast forwarded him into this moment right now. And when we talk about help, are you in the business of developing or are you in the business of winning? I believe in the hearts of hearts that every game is valuable, so you put your best 5 out there, regardless. I know that Zach Martin, he lamented that he do not want to play right tackle. He want to play at guard. That's where he's comfortable. But comfort don't win you games. Looking at this situation, you need to have guys that's willing to jump on grenades. And I'm not saying that Zach Martin is not willing to jump on grenades, but at some point, the coaching staff and whoever's in the office got to motivate him and say, hey, this is not about your comfort. This is about us winning week 2 game by putting the best 5 out there. Now, I may be silly and I may be slow to this, so charge it to my head, not my heart. But if you feel that Terrence Steele is part of your best 5 right now out of the offensive linemen, let me know. Post it down in the comment box and give me reasons why you believe that Terrence Steele is giving you a better chance and opportunity to win outside of sheer blind optimism. That's all I'm saying. AI speak.
Great rookie year, Jerry Jones. Jones, we ain't trying to develop players, we are trying to win.
My point exactly. Appreciate you, Gene Paul. And I hope that you guys are not looking at this and saying that, well, Lord, why are you big negative about this situation? Well, my duty is to just give you guys the truth. If you want to go somewhere where you get the sugar-coated fluff stuff, then there are other pages and channels and other content that you can just roll with, right? But if you want to hit this from me, then you just stay here. But what I'm saying is that I'm not calling Terrence Steele a done product, but he's a product that need time to develop. We got to understand that even if Zach Martin helped Steele out, there's still a reservation, or still a big gaping hole that you got to the left of you, Tyler Biadasz. Although I think that Tyler is solid, he still need his help. He can't help too. There's a reason why when the plane states, when the pilot or the ladies that they tell everybody what to do in the case of emergency, make sure you secure yourself first, right? Secure the oxygen mask over yourself first instead of trying to help someone else out. And I've seen for multiple years even Tyron Smith give up sacks trying to help out Connor Williams. And people sullying and denigrating. See, Tyron, he can't block like he used to when he was giving up those pass rushes on the left side because he was trying to help Connor Williams. So now you got a situation where Zach Martin, he's going to try to help Terrence Steele, and he's going to have to try to help Tyler Biadasz.
Jerry, I know it was speculated, but what was the reasoning behind not moving Zach to right tackle? Is that a Mike thing? Is that Zach doesn't really like it? What was the reason?
What is the reason?
Not really. I think we feel like that our offense, really, I hate to be trite about it, but it's just best served with him at right guard, and we've got a good alternative, and he will be very helpful to the fact that Steele will basically be out there in the game, and he'll be helpful to him.
You see how he said, What is that? No, just call it out, Jerry. You done already spilled the soup because also you didn't have to say that Terrence Steele will be starting at right tackle today. You could have waited Saturday. Matter of fact, you could have waited. It's a game day decision. It's an extreme, hard battle right now between Ty Nsekhe and Terrence Steele. What do that do? Oh, Joey Bosa don't have to just say, hey, now I'm focused only on Terrence Steele. I guarantee you, Joey Bosa's in there like, oh, okay, I'm going to watch some Terrence Steele tape, but I'm also going to watch on how the Dallas Cowboys use Zach Martin to help him out. Oh, excuse me, the game that Dak Prescott got real loose and started throwing the ball all over the field, let me know what they did. Oh, Terrence Steele had the jelly bellies. Oh, he had the boo-boo guts or whatever it was, IBS or something like that. And he had to sit out a game, and it forced the Cowboys to move Zach Martin to the right tackle position. And we looked up. Now we saw the ball flowing real good. I cannot believe it that this guy going to sit here and say, well, let me just hear this thing.
He will help out that situation. But but really you're reluctant because when you make a move, you talk about position flex in the offensive line, but when you make a move, you're dealing with two people at different positions rather than just one new one in there at the same position he's been practicing. So it's a little more to it relative to what you're giving up when you switch a guy out of a position into another one. That's two position switches.
Jerry, what is the status of Randy Gregory as of today to play Sunday?
He had a positive test. We're looking for negative tests. He's doing things to give him the best chance to have the negative test, and we'll keep testing him out there with the protocol and keep our fingers crossed that maybe.
How about you test him 180 times before the kickoff so we get those two negatives?
We could get a quick bout with this COVID.
Do you know if he's experiencing symptoms?
Nah,
Excuse me?
Do you know if he's experiencing symptoms? Like that would elongate the process, right?
Well, I would say that it's not serious symptoms.
Jerry, you may answer the same way in terms of not being frustrated. It's just part of the game. But, I mean, you guys, did pretty much everything you could to get the team vaccinated. It was only a few guys unvaxxed last time we heard you and Steven. Is this frustrating? Randy got vaccinated, doesn't have major symptoms, and is still in this situation. How are you viewing this overall with the team in the league?
I just put it in context of what we're dealing with in the country, what we're dealing with here in Texas. It's not uncommon now for people to be completely vaccinated and have some COVID. Relatively speaking, and our experience with our players last year was that I don't know that we had anybody get real sick with the COVID as our players last year. And so from that standpoint, it's good to know that we've got a good I mean, we've got a acceptable record of what happens when they do get to COVID. It creates imposition, obviously, to be tried on how we line it up when the players do get it. But in general, frankly, I've on a personal basis, I've just come to live with this and know that we're going to have some get COVID, know the protocols. We're doing a good, really great job, I think, of making adjustments. We had anticipated it. No surprises here at all.
Man, I just hope everybody, just take their precautions as it relates to this protocol stuff. I'm not going to say the word because they would just do all types of crazy stuff to this channel. But just do your due diligence and understand that none of these players, collectively speaking, I'm gonna do the Jerry. Died. The mortality rate is less than 1%. So I just want to tell you guys that. So I believe that these pro athletes, they will bounce back and get back out there on the field. Now it's just the fact that we heard before that there's a lot of false positives and these sorts of things, and even on the flip side, false negatives. I want to know how this would all go about. Let's say, for example, if Tom Brady week 1 were to have this same situation like Zach Martin had week 1. How would they circumvent this? Or how would they circumvent it if it's a player of the caliber of the starting quarterback opposed to a defensive edge guy or, anybody else? Let me know how you guys feel of those things, because I don't want to make it political, but that's where it seems as if, though, this thing is heading down. This guy's not showing any symptoms, but he's also showing the symptoms, right? It's just one of those things where it's crazy, and I can see how this thing can be used and worked against certain teams. Not going to mention names.
No, and we had anticipated it, and I'm excited that we're going to be able to cope with it, in my view, and I'm excited about these full crowds back in these stadiums across the league. It's just great. It's obvious it does make a difference. I was watching the game Sunday, and to have those full stadiums everywhere. I was over to Arkansas and Texas this weekend. Full stadium, storm the field, people everywhere. It's good to have it. It's good to have it back. We need this in the country.
You want to say anything to the Longhorn fans listening right now?
Well, I've got a lot of great Cowboy fans that are Longhorn fans, and that rivalry does unquestionably mean more to Arkansas and Arkansas fans. It's just more meaningful. It was our big game over there for centuries and decades, and so my point is that at the expense of all my good friends that are Longhorns, the Razorbacks did have a good day.
Jerry Jones with Sean and RJ every single week right here on 105.3 The Fan. Jerry, I know you were talking with KNC that Greg Zuerlein not being as active in the preseason may have factored in against Tampa. How are you feeling about it now, and have you guys decided to bring in another kicker just in case?
Well, we have had the kicker that we let go when we cut our squad down. We had brought him in because Zuerlein was limited right at the end of preseason, and he had a quad that was bothering him at the time. And so we brought him in. That's why you do that. And so in light of the entire situation, we could bring this kicker in for and have him on our practice squad, and not only have him ready, but also Zuerlein will be, of course, getting his reps out there this week, and that's, in my mind, the logical way to handle kind of moving Zuerlein into a physically solid eye for going ahead.
Shame.
I'm gonna hit it again, and I can't slap Jerry. You know that's Papa Jerry Jones. I can't slap him. I would never, ever, ever, ever slap Jerry Wayne Jones. So I can't hit the slap him, but I can slap him with this one. Though.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Why would you? Y'all hear me out. And I know that there are some Greg Zuerlein apologists out there. But hear me out with this one. Why go to a gunfight with a knife, you know? Or a injured player. Or a player that's not 100%. Because we're using he had off-season surgery on his back, and then he had the quad situation. Yeah, I get it. But what's this guy named? Liram, Hallelujah, whatever his name is. Y'all put his name in the chat. Why not hold a true competition all through training camp, all through preseason, and battle it out? And when week 1 come in, you will have the healthiest of the healthiest you would know, right? Because at some point, Greg Zuerlein was getting back to kicking. So you line him up, lace him up, even though he don't practice 30-yard kicks from his mouth to our ears, right? You hold that competition, and you make sure that you let them know that as the general manager, the person that oversees the players, you let them know that there's 3 phases to a football game, actually 4, but I'm going to just talk about the 3. And special teams is one of them. We got to make sure that we hitting on all cylinders, not a few of them. Because when you're missing a few cylinders, everybody who drove a car before, let me know if you ever drove one with missing a cylinder. The car get to Harlem shaking. The car can still move, but it won't move at the operative way that the car's supposed to move. So it get to shaking on you. Why not at least game 1, you coming in there knowing that you're hitting on all cylinders. So even if the Hallelujah guy, Laram, you guys put his name down there, help me out. Even if he missed, then you can say, okay, dog, you on a short leash because we got Greg, and his back getting healed. Instead of doing it the inverse around. You know, let me read some of your comments on that one because Kenny said one slap. No, I can't, man. No, I can't. TA, no, Cowboy, I can't slap. I can't tell Jerry Wayne, 728 life. I can't tell him to lean forward. No. We needed 4 bath, you know. I feel you on that. Sip the Truth, appreciate you, 34. Cowboy family, what it do? Appreciate you. 35-21, Joseph Collins. Yeah, I think that our Cowboys still have the firepower to beat the Chargers, by the way. And we'll get into more details of that later on down the line. I don't know. Is Boone is also an assistant coach? I don't know, but it is what it is. Shout out to Justin. I hope that Justin Boone don't think that I was hating at him, because I value everybody's opinion over here on Cowboy Nation Show, Law Nation Show. I value your opinions. Don't get it twisted. I'm just boisterous with mine. That's why when you want to call in, and I'll allow you to speak. You got 2 minutes, right, to spit your mind. Brandon, your law. Appreciate you, man, from Natchez. What's up, man? Or from Mississippi. Jerry eating that McGriddle right now. Yeah.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
William, appreciate you so much for your donation there. Shout out to you, Iceberg Q. I see you, fam. $6.9 billion organization that can't win for nothing. I mean, this is have a horrible time of evaluating, in certain situations. Let the AI speak.
Slap Jerry, please, Law, and tell him learn.
No, I can't. I won't do Jerry like that. Can you imagine Law give him the slap, then that later on that day, something happened to Jerry, and I'll have an egg on my face, So I'm not going to do him. But we'll slap the other people,
No
man.
question about it. We're being tentative with him during preseason, and I do, in my opinion, I think that showed up out there the other night.
Jerry, how close were you guys leading up to the game? Not even, at the end of camp, with the quad injury and with the fact that he hadn't taken any kicks, how close were you to not having him active for game one? And
Let me hear this.
Not close at all.
Ah!
Not close. We had real.
Jerry, won't you lean forward just a little bit? I must resist. Come on, Lord. Don't do it.
Finish him.
No, I can't do it. I do this one, though.
Shame.
That
Shame.
hand was about to hit.
Shame.
Fatality. D.
Oh, my God. I want to slap him so bad. Oh, no, I can't.
Good feeling about
my
him,
God.
and obviously it's unfortunate. My understanding is he hit the ball high on his first two, but still, we all know that whether it be Tiger Woods or whether it be a baseball player, all athletes have to have adjustments sometime and get their swing back, so to speak. And he's in that category of golfers' swings.
Ooh, so my therapist said that it's good to talk about your frustrations, and this is therapy session, man. When you guys are here listening to me ranting in such a way, calm before the storm, right? If you know that it's going to take him time, why risk it against the defending Super Bowl champs? I feel you, Jerry. I understand the optimism. Hey, the way you move and shake it, I'm not talking about the soft shaker, but I'm talking about the shake of the will, the fortitude of your mind, the spirit. Oh my goodness, the metaphysical Jerry made you riches beyond wealth and anything that we can tangibly see, right? Multi-billionaire, risking it all. But there are times when you gamble too wrong. So you knowing that this guy had a bad, coming off of a surgery with his back and his quads, and knowing that the ball is a little high, why not just say, hey, is there a way that we can, just put Greg on 3 weeks reserve? Maybe you can sprinkle some of that protocol on him and say, hey, he's out for protocol for 3 weeks. Just make one of the, hey, give him one of Greg, you give him one of Randy Gregory's. They say, hey, Randy Gregory test got mixed up with Greg Zuerlein test. Or Zach Martin test got mixed up with Greg Zuerlein test. Or something like that. Let him be out for 2 to 3 weeks. You move in the other kicker because he's healthy. You've seen him in practice kicking kicks, making the kicks or what have you. And you don't have to worry about health. Oh.
Or of batter, coaching, timing, getting in the groove. To me, that position's in that category.
Jerry, we saw the Raiders Stadium with fans last night in an electric atmosphere and a great game. But let's talk about your feelings heading to this stadium on Sunday, a stadium that you are a proponent of, teams that you are a proponent of getting back to California. Set us up for heading to this venue that you are a big supporter of.
The stadium is magnificent. It's in the entertainment capital of the world. The eyes, when we think of Los Angeles, we think of entertainment. To me, that stadium is going to replace that kind of rickety-looking Hollywood sign that we always saw on the side of that mountain. But it's going to have NFL all over it. Our NFL Network's headquarters has a beautiful location right there next to the stadium. And it just does so much for our game relative to visibility and an image that we want to portray. Stan Kroenke has unbelievably made a commitment $4.5 billion. The
Billion.
area around that stadium is a part of a $20 billion development.
Let me just rewind. Here's the billion.
Has unbelievably made a commitment. $4.5 billion. The area around that stadium is a part of a $20 billion development. And it is, as far as assets go, as far as a venue goes, or as far as an image of what we would love for the NFL to be a part of, it just knocks it right out of the park.
Jerry, you've always looked at.
Let me just see it.
I want me some glory hole.
Y'all know that Jerry, the same contractors that I believe he owned a piece of that company, and you guys can fact check me on that if you want. But he have his hands tied in to not just the Cowboys, the Arlington Stadium. He also have his hands in the mix with the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I believe that's the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. I could be off with the naming rights, as well as this stadium right here that we're going to witness this weekend. See, the booker, they get paid regardless. You know, he's like a bookie. You know, he's get paid regardless whether he win or lose. And, of course, his heart is with the Cowboys. But the remunerations, the money aspect of it is with the NFL. And he will forever get paid. Man, the Jones family. And I think that Jerry, he was born in California, right? Yeah. So he originally, according to him, he wanted to buy the San Diego Chargers. Just couldn't come up with enough money at the time. And it just so happened that the Cowboys were under. So in a different type of world, if Jerry had the money up front, man, the Chargers would have been his team instead of the Cowboys. Let that sink in. I'm quite satisfied with what Jerry did in the 90s with picking up Jimmy Johnson and those boys to help us get a ring. But let the AI speak.
Here's some money for you to do some more Michael Irvin impersonation.
Appreciate you, Phantom. You know, that goes a long way. You know, the playmaker Irvin, he'll be doing a lot of stuff out there. You know, that's the horse that Jerry built that horse over there in Vegas. And we're gonna also be out there in LA too. So it's just gonna be a nice thing for the Dallas Cowboys to do this thing. So it's everywhere. Jerry Jones is my father, and I can't wait to see the Cowboys be victorious this weekend. That's Jerry Jones listening in to the playmaker. That's how he would say it, by the way.
Out for the other teams, projects like
Appreciate
this,
you,
NFL
Phantom.
Network, what's best for the league. I've always wanted to ask you, why haven't you been more selfish with the Cowboys of maybe we don't need a salary cap and let's not look out for that market, and why so unselfish? I know it sounds like a weird question, but hey, let's get the Cowboys. I know you do everything you can for the Cowboys to succeed, but why have you been such an ambassador for the rest of the league?
Well, everything lifts that lifts the league, lifts the Cowboys. And that when we're not playing in our great venue here in Arlington, then be playing in a venue like that. We're just talking about Los Angeles. And so the overall presentation of the game, the interest in the game, the magic, if you will. You know, you've heard me say, actually, a low percentage, 7% of our fans, only 7 have ever been inside a stadium in the NFL, but they see it through television. And but I knew that when I was building this stadium here, that it's what Al Michaels says about it going to 25, 30 million people. That also is a huge factor. All of that plays to the attitude about the league. And our game is a great game. It hits at the right time of the year in the fourth quarter. This time of the year, that's when we want all these eyeballs in front of those screens. So it's an exciting game there, and it's an exciting game for all of the other stuff off the field that goes on around it. These networks, when they do movies, they spend millions and millions of dollars promoting that movie. Well, we get to promote the NFL year-round in a lot of ways. And so all of this helps the game. Yes, it does. It helps move the ball down the field. It's all a part the perception of the game. And I can't tell you what it's been like to be involved in this for 30 years. I never dreamed it'd be so interesting every day. I thought I might get cabin fever when I moved away from oil and gas and the excitement or the challenge. You can get you know what's cut off in the oil and gas.
Get those cojones cut off. Jerry say millions and billions different from everybody else. Maybe if I start saying it like that, I can start attracting some millions and billions, you know? I need Jeff Kavanaugh to say millions and billions, you know? Every syllable with pronunciation of the word, he just kills it, right? Millions and billions. My thing is, when you wealthy, because he's not rich, he's wealthy, you know. Rich is what Shaq is, right? Wealthy is what Jerry Jones is, right? If shout out to Chris Rock, he used to say this all the time on his stand-up comedy. If Jerry Jones wake up with Shaq money tomorrow, he probably jump out of that helicopter and cut his throat before he hit the ground, because he sit there and say, man, I'm broke. But the money that Jerry Wayne got is just stupid. And on top of that, if we contextualize it on this particular aspect of it, when he lose or when the Cowboys lose, it feels different. Juxtaposed to when they lose for us. It cut all of those networks that he's talking about, that he's spoon feeding all of that wealth and riches to. They bully us. Let me know if I'm lying. Let me know if I'm wrong. All of those networks don't ever speak positive of the Cowboys. They bully the hell out of us. And we are the hand that feed them all of the riches and wealth and the money that come their way, the new uniform, the revenue sharing. Can you imagine Chick-fil-A just out there saying, okay, for all of the fast food restaurants, we're going to share all of our revenues to everyone so that they can compete with us? You know, no. Every tub must sit on his own bottom. That's what old folks say. But Jerry is so nice. Will it be good? Will it be good for one time for Jerry to be a little selfish and get us what we respectfully deserve as Cowboy fans? We've been rooting for this team, especially since all of the crazy stuff that Jerry been doing with the staff and in the organization. He's been doing a good job, but collectively, as far as the coaching and everything, come on, Jerry. We've been sticking right beside you, and we don't get nothing of an reprieve or nothing as it relates to, hey, did you think about the Cowboy fans on all of these networks that's been spitting out all of the nonsense and the negativity? Did you think about the Cowboy fans for once? The ones that really support this team come hell and high waters. Look how faithful we are. We haven't turned our back on this team for over 25 years. We still standing firm. Because a third of you guys that's watching, by the way, been the Cowboy fans before Jerry bought the team, right? I digress.
It is competitive stuff. I said, well, I'll get football won't be that way. Well, that's not right. It's been just as exciting there as well. So all of it is fabulous as far as the visibility, promotion of it. At the end of the day, we need to make first downs. That's what's beautiful about it. At the end of the day, it's in the dirt, as Jason Witten says. It's my town against your town.
Mm-hmm.
It's me against you.
But you don't do it that way.
It's you know that crowd's out there when you're on the field, but it's right down there where the stuff's getting after it is whatever player experiences, and that's what we know as fans is going on.
Jerry, last one. We're talking about the business and franchises and being, a special part of the league. When is the last time that you got a phone call or a serious offer from someone else trying to buy the Cowboys from you?
Oh, I just don't know. That usually comes from in this nature. Boy, if ever you were ever thinking about it, look at where I am, and I'm speaking in the third person relative to another person. And so my point is that you're absolutely right. No one in their that knows me well at all would even think that I would carry a thought into that area of not having the Cowboys.
Jerry, we know you are.
Yeah, so that was 105.3 The Fan. So that you guys can listen to that episode without me pausing, stopping, and rewinding every 5 seconds, I will post a link in the description.
Now, quick move.
Hush. There we go. Yeah, we'll post a link right here. That's the link to the audio of Jerry full episode there of him talking about starting Terrence Steele at right tackle, him going over La'el Collins' situation and scenario. Very, very good information on the front end of that about La'el Collins versus the NFL, and the appeal process does not stop the process of him being able to play. Most of the times you can appeal it, you can play until they gather all of the evidence and information, and then they come down with their rulings. Now, we can look at that La'el Collins. It could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe, just maybe, you can look at it and say, all right, now you got 5 games off, and when you come back, make sure you take those doggone tests and be out there, and hopefully you'll be healthy for the remainder of the year, right? That's how we can look at it. Or you can look at it like this and say, man, this is sad news because we got Terrence Steele out there, and there's no blessing in seeing Terrence Steele out there unless you do some type of, body makeup and you change Terrence Steele into La'el Collins. I wonder if that can work. I wonder if the Cowboys can get away with that. You're a billionaire, Jerry. I seen a movie a long time ago with the movie called Faced Off, John Travolta and I believe, what's the other guy that played in it? They switched face, Let me see if I can find that movie. Yeah, I know. Face Off. I think that was the name of it. Let me see if I can find this movie. Face Off. Yeah. Was it this movie? Yeah. Do something like that, Jerry. Switch faces with Terrence Steele, Yeah, this movie right here. And it probably will work. It will probably work, Jerry. Just put La'el Collins in Terrence Steele uniform and let this thing go. I think that they could probably pass for one another. Just tell La'el to cut his hair down a little bit. And I don't think La'el got a beard, right? If you look at that picture right there, it probably can work. Face Off. They about the same. Well, they ain't the same body size. Nicolas Cage, Face Off. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's put La'el Collins in number 78. That probably will work. That probably will work. And nobody believes in Steele. But can we still win? It's quite possible. And the good thing is, it's on Dak Prescott visible side, not his blind side. So he would see Joey coming. And what they're going to have to do is let him come off the edge, have Dak Prescott step inside the pocket and throw it. Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, all-time great movie. Yeah, it was a good movie, man. It was a good one, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage, low-key, good actor, man, good actor. One of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies was Con Air. And he beat the hell out of that dude, punched him one time, killed him, right? That was a good movie, Con Air. And another good movie by Nicolas Cage to me, better than all of the Fast and the Furious series, Gone in 60 Seconds. Let me know. Gone in 60 Seconds versus Fast and the Furious. At least Gone in 60 Seconds was more, more realistic a little bit, right? When they're stealing all of those cars. Man, I'm going to go watch that movie when I get off. That's a good movie. National Treasure was a good one. 1, 2, and whatever. I think 1 and 2. I think they had 3, but 1 and 2. And another movie by Nicolas Cage was really good, in my opinion, was Family Man. I think that was a real good one. Butterfly, I think he played in a movie called Dragonfly, Butterfly, something like that. But Family Man was a real good one, though. Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds was a good one. Yeah. Valley Girl, no.
Con Air is my fave. He won on Superman also.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, Jay Verse. Appreciate you that. Yeah, you see, I love movies, man. I love movies. The middle line is more important. Yeah. It was good. Yep. Put the bunny down, Conor. Yeah. That was a good one, man. What other movie I need to watch from Nicolas Cage? Yeah. John Travolta, he's a legend too, by the way. John Travolta is a real good actor, by the way. Who's better, John Travolta or Nicolas Cage? The Face Off, you know. Who y'all got? John Travolta or Nicolas Cage? Ghost Rider was really good, believe it or not.